How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to JDC Studio. My name is Jacob, and today I'm going to rank Tony Ramirez's top 10 favorite NCS songs. I believe this is the 7th top 10 that I've ranked, and so far it's the one with the biggest range, and you'll know what I mean later. And again, or in case you didn't know, for everyone else who sent requests to me, there's a queue in one of my community posts. Unfortunately, there isn't any way for me to guarantee when it'll be out, and I will admit myself that they sometimes take a while, but just know I will get to it eventually. But with all that out of the way, let's get started with this list, starting with number 10. Number 10 is Romeo and Juliet by Sad Boys featuring Mana, which is Tony's 7th favorite NCS song. I'm so sorry to say that electronic rock is not my preferred genre of music, especially on NCS. The lyrics are really weird to me. It seems something along the lines of a cheesy love story tied with a murder scene, which I couldn't make sense of if I tried. The occasional screaming also makes it sound unpleasant. I guess the background made with the guitar chord sounds kind of nice, on top of the song being in A major, which keeps the song from being even lower. I give it a 28 out of 100. Number 9 is Happier Now by Sad Boys featuring Gabriel Eli, which is Tony's most favorite NCS song. Unfortunately, this falls into very similar pitfalls. I can tell the lyrics are trying to express a theme of remembering the good times and how things have changed, which is wholesome in and of itself, but it also includes cussing and mention of being on something, which feels misleading. At least they took out the screaming. The highlight of the instrumentation is probably the first 4 bars of the last drop, which sounds a bit uplifting, but I don't care for the rest. I absolutely cannot say the same for their most recent song though. I give this a 31 out of 100. Number 8 is Chasing Ghosts by the Eden Project, which is Tony's 9th favorite NCS song. Honestly, I'm not completely sure how to feel about this one. Before taking a full listen, I didn't really like how messy it sounded before the drops, but now I know about its depth and meaning shown mainly through Eden's lyrics, which I'd prefer over the ones in the previous 2 songs any day. Of course, my melodic dubstep bias is also a factor. Speaking of which, while reviewing the top 100 list I just finished, I realized it had more house songs than dubstep ones, which honestly shocked me. I give this a 77 out of 100. Number 7 is After the End by Rex Hooligan, which is Tony's 10th favorite NCS song. The notes of the intro lyrics remind me of Tim Buren and Chenda's No Pressure, which I loved, so I love it here too. I enjoy how the first drop is drum step and the second is DnB, and this has way better sound design than most recent DnB songs, for sure. A few months ago, the song would have actually been in my top 100, but it grew off me for slight lack of variety and me discovering other songs I felt were more suitable for the list. I give this an 80 out of 100. Number 6 is Only You by Roy Knox and Derpcat featuring I'm Alright, which is Tony's 3rd favorite NCS song. I feel like this song tries to be phenomenal with its drops, but isn't really. In other words, it has some missed potential. This probably isn't helped by how fast the first one comes, but don't get me wrong, I most definitely enjoy the clean sound design, which is also present in the verses and other sections. The last build up and drop took me by surprise with how hard they go. I give this an 81 out of 100. Number 5 is Mistakes by Sekai, Rob Gasser, Spitfire, and Decembera featuring Emily Styles, which is Tony's 6th favorite NCS song. This has easily one of the most creative intros I've ever heard, sampling previously released songs from each artist before getting started. A good representation for NCS 10. I enjoy how relaxed the atmosphere is throughout, while it also manages to stay interesting, which could be due to all 3 drops being different. The last one is where this loses points for me. It feels rather mixed, having a strange sounding melody combined with super dope snares, but it doesn't ruin all before it. I give this an 86 out of 100. Number 3 is Lost by the Eden Project, which is Tony's 4th favorite NCS song. His second appearance on this list is even better at expressing a thoughtful theme through its lyrics. That, along with the instrumentation in part, conveys a lot of emotions, mainly sadness or melancholy. More highlights include the numerous chord progressions as well as 3 distinct drops again, but unlike Mistakes, the last one was my favorite with its super uplifting melody. It gives off an incredible feeling. I give it a 93 out of 100. This is currently the 10th honorable mention for my top 100, although I wouldn't be surprised if it goes into the actual list sometime. Number 2 is Running by Sekai and Gash, which is Tony's 5th favorite NCS song. I describe this as executing what Romeo and Juliet was trying to do way better, because while they have similarities, I prefer all the differences in this. An impressive variety of instruments is heard here, such as the electric guitar in the verses and unique synth leads and basses in the drops. 3 drops isn't that much of a trend for Sekai as far as I know, but I'm glad to see them. The guitar solo in the last one just keeps the fire that started in the intro going. Oh, and the lyrics aren't conflicted at all. In fact, they sound sweet to my ears, especially the choruses. I give it a 95 out of 100. This is currently my 79th favorite NCS song. And number 1 is...
Sometimes I still hear your voice. It's telling me you'll catch my...
Fell for a Demon by Roy Knox and Linker featuring Madishu, which is Tony's 2nd favorite NCS song. I feel like Roy's music is hit or miss sometimes, although for me a good majority of them are hits. Only You included, and this, well, is a split second of hesitation needed. This is the best song I've ranked since Jumbo, and was my favorite by Roy before Need You Again dropped. Massive comeback for Sad Boys, by the way. Even the weakest part of the song is beyond typical melodub standards, and let me tell you why. It starts with a piano more emotional than any songs talked about previously in this video, played over lyrics just as deep. Minor background noises can sometimes be heard in the first 25 seconds before satellite noises guide you to the second half of the intro verse, which brings in the ever so hyping chords. There's even singing harmonies that can be heard at one point. Proceeding is an interlude with no beats yet, but a flooding of epic chords and melodies. All that I've mentioned so far has practically brought this track off the charts already, but the best is still yet to come. We're only a minute in. Then it progresses into the build-up, where the last part of the verse is repeated and the beats make their introduction, and first drop, which is melodic with a slightly different melody than we've heard before, but obviously it doesn't disappoint one bit. Moving on to the second build-up, which comes right after the first drop and sounds really similar to the one before it, until you reach the last half. The lyrics get caught in a loop, becoming a pitch higher every beat to further anticipate us for what's to come, and oh man, the second drop switches to bro step and literally has the most insane sounds I've ever heard in my life. No wonder it took 2 years for them to cook this up. I can only imagine how much their own computers could handle trying to produce those elite noises. But it's not over, because things died down with some rock step type beats and a return of the piano chords, as well as a high piano melody being played over everything. Pretty soon we get a new set of lyrics going into another interlude that contains a mix of previously heard elements, such as the hyping chords, snippets of the first drop's melody, and beat segments to outline them. This makes it honestly more exciting than the previous interlude. One last build-up leads into 2 bars of extremely huge suspense, preparing you for drop 3, which just brings those insanely insane bro step sounds back. In fact, it might even be more wild here. Like, how is that even possible? A pretty close repetition of the section after the second drop brings us to the end of this roller coaster. It's not often at all that you come across such a well-produced, well-variated, well-contrasted, and absolutely sick masterpiece such as this. And for that, I don't see this leaving my top 10 anytime soon, if ever. I give it an 100 plus out of 100. This is currently my 7th favorite NCS song. Thanks for making it through my long rant and also watching the rest of this video. If you're new and enjoy it, please like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribe to Tony too to support him. But for now, that's all I've got for you, so I'll see you next time. JDC out.